Tyler Perry is putting a virtual production stage in one of his studios. A student film built its whole set as a Gaussian splat, then lit a real actor with it. Arnold can now relight a splat like its proper geometry, and the biggest week in real-time graphics is happening in LA right now.
Pull up a stool where the pixels pour, news and gear and a whole lot more. Week after week, here's where you are. Welcome on in to VP Bar.
Welcome back to VP Bar, the virtual productions new show. The last couple of weeks have been quiet for the series, so we got catching up to do. Let's get into it. First up, Atlanta, Tyler Perry Studios is building a virtual production stage, and they're brought in a company called Synapse to do it. They're taking one of the stages they've already have and converting it, LED volume, camera tracking, a real-time engine driving the wall. The plan is to have it running by the end of the year. Now, the lot is huge, 365 acres, so this isn't about being short on space. It's about choice. They want a volume on site and they want it open for other productions too, not just for their own shows. The bit I like was how they talked about it. There was a clear line that the crew stays at the center of this. Not we're swapping people out for a computer. It's about shooting more in more places without leaving Atlanta. The next one is my pick of the week, and it's a student film from Germany. The idea is that the mom ends up living inside an old tin can and the son has to feel like he's in there with her. So the actor performs inside a big rotating wheel dressed up as a can, and behind him there's an LED wall showing his childhood bedroom. Here's the clever part. They didn't model that bedroom in CGI. They photographed the real room, about 4,000 stills, and turn it into a Gaussian splat. Then they drop that straight into Unreal Engine and put it up on the wall. Then they synced it. They stuck a gyroscope on the wheel, ran it through an Arduino into Unreal Engine, so when the actor speeds up, the room moves with him. He slows down, it slows down. Live on the day. They tried the old way first, just playing back a video of the room. It stuttered every time the speed changed. The splats held up because it's a real 3D scene, not a clip you're scrubbing back and forth. And one more thing worth mentioning, their editor found a missing shot after the fact. Instead of booking a whole reshoot, they went back to one more photo on location, dropped it in, and got the take they were after. That's the part that sells splats for me. Not the flashy demo, the boring practical save. A shot goes missing and you fix it with a single photograph. Also, there was no camera tracking on this. Every shot looked straight into the can, so tracking would have been blocked anyways. They just set the frustum by hand. Good reminder that you use the tools the shot needs, not the other way around. Right, product of the week, and it lands perfectly next to the last story. Autodesk pushed out Arnold 7.5.2, and the headline is once again Gaussian splats. Arnold can now render a splat natively, and here's the good part. They can relight it. Quick reminder, if splats are still new to you, when you scan a real place, the lighting from that exact moment gets baked in. Great for realism, nightmare when you need to match a different scene with different lighting. The new splat shaders lets you keep that original look or turn up a diffuse response so the splat reacts to your own lighting. For previs and tech viz around a volume, that's pretty handy. You scan a location once, drop it in, and light it to match the shot, instead of being stuck with whatever the sky was doing on that day when you captured it. It's not real time, so it's not going up live on the wall. But for planning a shoot and for finishing one, Splats just got a lot more flexible. Put this next to a coffee can film and you can see the same thing happening from two directions. Splats are quietly turning into a normal part of the pipeline, not a party trick anymore. One more on the product side, and this one's aimed straight at the wall. Red put out a firmware update for the V-Raptor version 2.2. The feature to care about is Discrete Phantom Tracking. Phantom Track lets one camera grab a final pixel take and a clean pass at the same time, which is gold for volume work. The catch used to be that both had to run the same shutter. Now you can set them apart. One track at 180 degrees and the other, for example, at 90, whatever your wall actually needs. And this is the part I love. Red says the change came straight from feedback by Brompton and Megapixel, the LED processor people. So it's not a number chasing, a number on a spec sheet. It's the camera side and the wall side sitting down and sorting out timing and phase together, basically getting into a debate and figuring out what's worth it or not. That's how you kill banding and sync problems before they cost you a day on set. Small update, real fix. Real quick, before the event, we run a community where you can watch our videos early and talk to other people working in virtual production. It's free to join. That's the whole thing. Early access and a room full of people doing what you do. And our course is now on MZit, which is Cinedy's training platform. If you're already an MZit subscriber, it's sitting there waiting for you. It runs through green screen, stage building, lighting, camera tracking, keying, Unreal, the practical stuff, start to finish, links down below. The event this week is one we called a while back. Earlier this year, we flagged SIGGRAPH. Well, it's here. It's on right now in LA from the 18th to 23rd of July. Quick reminder, if you missed the previous update, SIGGRAPH is the big show for graphics and real time. And this year, the virtual production side is right up front. Real-time environments, mocap, LED volumes, in-camera effects, and all over the Immersive Pavilion. The one to watch is Real Time Live on the Tuesday evening, where people demo working pipelines in front of a crowd with no safety net. That's where you should. Okay, move on. I was about to make a joke, but I remember there's someone in the room that doesn't like my joke, so let's carry on. And the team behind that coffee can film are out there presenting too. I've dropped links in the description if you want to catch up on any of it. Here's one for the diary. The next SIGGRAPH isn't the one you'd expect. There's a sister show, SIGGRAPH Asia, and this year it's landing in Kuala Lumpur for the very first time. 1st to the 4th of December at the Kuala Lumpur Convention Center. And it's a proper one, not side event. 19 years running, 6,000 people, 300 plus speakers, exhibitors from all over the world. Same DNA as the LA show, graphics, real time, and good chunk of virtual production, just pointed at the Asia Pacific crowd. If you're anywhere in that part of the world, that's the one to aim for this year. We'll come back when it's closer to the time. So that's your catch up. A name brand studio building a volume in Atlanta, a splat trick worth stealing off a student film, a render update that makes those splats behave, a camera talking properly to the wall, and the big real-time show live in LA. It was a good one to come back to. If you got something out of it, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next Monday for the next round.